All right, so the meeting is called to order at 7:01. We were emailed the meeting minutes of the last meeting. Did anyone have any concerns, changes? I didn't have any. Nope. All right.
Motion, we approve minutes as distributed.
Okay. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right.
We're all here.
We're all here.
Aye.
Except for Grace.
Aye.
Okay, treasurer's report.
Yes.
Okay, the treasurer has now reported.
Sure.
I see that there's something here for me to sign.
Yes, for $98.06 or whatever.
93.80. Oh, but also 1,549 for stamps.
That's not fun.
Pardon me?
That wasn't there before.
Oh, that came in today. That's for,
Well, shouldn't we tell the treasurer?
so Bill, that came in today. Me, I think maybe like 2 hours ago. That is for Stantec's review of the
Just how we treat our esteemed members.
the paving on, or the other road improvements on the Dean Pond Road development. What was there?
Okay.
So they're still finishing up finalizing road work on that, and Stantec has been out to inspect.
Anything else from treasurer?
Nope.
Planner's report was good to me. It was very complete. Did anyone have questions about the planner that we received today?
It was the same as.
Yeah, same as last time.
Um,
Actually, I did have one
Yeah.
comment, which was we already had the meeting that we mentioned.
So those are the only,
Things that are.
thinking about it just before the meeting, I was gonna mention, obviously, we had the outreach meeting last night. We can talk a little bit about that later in the other agenda item. But one thing that it occurred to me to mention today was last week, obviously, the governor signed the housing package.
Accessory structures.
So accessory dwelling units are now on the table and are going to be by right in every single community in February, I think it is, 180 days.
Do we have to do anything? Do we have, I mean, we have to change the table of uses, but
No, that's affordable housing.
We should do
Mhm.
five, because one of the things with this package, to totally interject and take a conversation, which I never do. It does two things. One is it basically makes it so you cannot restrict the
right,
units.
right.
So you can't require owner occupancy in
Yeah.
one units.
Yeah.
But the other thing that the town should think about doing, and I would strongly support that we do, is we do create other zoning like setback, because we have to do, I mean, otherwise people can just do them by right. We should set like.
So,
you know,
but the,
By right
already
doesn't mean-
by structure,
by
like,
right doesn't mean
you
you
can't
can
have
avoid-
that-
exactly the setback.
That's correct, but we have to set.
It's by right if you follow the
But the,
rules.
the rules aren't any different. Yes,
We have setbacks
for structures.
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 Any kind of a structure has a setback in a zone.
I would say yes, absolutely. So it would, by making them the use by right doesn't negate the existing setbacks in place. But you are right that if you want to expand or more clearly define how accessory dwelling units should be used and specifically detached, if that is on the table, because that was almost explicitly left out of the legislation. They did not mention detached anywhere. So I'm interpreting that, and I'm no attorney, but I'm interpreting that as that is part of what they are leaving to the cities and towns to figure out for yourselves, and how you would want to input reasonable restrictions, their words within the law, reasonable restrictions.
So we
And the
need we need to do this.
in
by-
which case you want to understand what setbacks you want to include for that, if you want to go by your standard setbacks or figure out.
Or
your
do we want
setbacks.
more setbacks?
But currently, I think just by making it by right, it definitely would still adhere to your local setbacks in whatever zone.
Yeah, so, but and anything we're gonna do, we need to do by fall town meeting if it goes into effect in February.
Yeah, my concern with, and I'm happy to work on it, my concern with getting this before fall town meeting is one,
It's August.
MBTA,
Yes.
it's already August. The warrant closes in
A month.
like 2 weeks.
I didn't know it was open yet.
Yeah, it opened.
Okay, then.
like a week or so ago. Yeah, it's a really small window.
Did you lose your find and replace skills? Find another job, it's got it already.
Yeah, right. Well, they, if only. But that brings me to my other point, which is, it's concerned town council, with limited time to review and limited time they provide to review. I don't want to end up in a situation where, again, I'm getting comments back on proposed bylaw 3 days before a town meeting.
Yeah.
But I'm happy to work on it.
Hi, Grace.
I'm not interrupting, I just had a thought, I mean, I'm not trying to be rude,
No,
these
please.
things come in.
Yep.
Is there something simple we could put down that says these will abide by Upton's, zoning?
Oh, uh-oh.
I can absolutely,
Do we
no,
want
I
them to,
don't
or do
want
we wanna
to
make
make
the
changes to the
setbacks more?
simplies.
I'd almost suggest we make them more,
If we don't have time to put in the bylaw itself, we can at least put in the current bylaw is in effect for these units
and then we could amend it later.
Right.
and amend it.
Mhm.
Would that make sense to say, to make that statement?
Because, and we probably do, if we did that, we could then change the table of uses probably in October, because that's probably not a big. That's a.
Oh, you change it in springtime.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Spring.
or just, yeah, I mean, we could just aim to do everything at Springtown meeting.
Yeah,
We can absolutely, in fact, I was talking about this with you. Make those simple changes to the existing bylaw. I mean, 3 things would have to change. I mean, we have 1,000 square feet is what the cap is for what is referred to as an accessory apartment. The law now states 900 square feet. We could change that to make it consistent.
What size, 850?
Oh, yours is 1,000 square feet. The state says 900, you could leave it or keep it the same, however you want to proceed with that. You'd have to make it by right, because currently it says
Right.
whatever form of it has to be a special permit. So you just eliminate that, say it's by right. I don't think you'd have to clarify further that it's not allowed in detached dwelling because it states it already. So you wouldn't have to touch that. You'd have to eliminate the portion that says, requires a familial connection to one of the
Right, we have
units.
to eliminate that.
So that, and then I think, based on my review of it, currently, those small changes, you'd be in compliance,
Can you do that in 2 weeks?
probably.
and then we could amend if we decided to.
You can absolutely amend it for.
Easy once it's in there.
Right.
Yeah.
We could amend it, so it's up.
That would be my suggestion.
I'd say that was the biggest update since.
Mhm.
So.
The same time, Margaret.
I think so.
Oh, excuse
It's really
me. I'm
bad.
leaving now.
Of course, we have very little wiggle room on what we can record.
I have my phone, I can go in there.
That would help.
I
Yeah, so that's the accessory structures. And yeah, that was the other, I guess, big thing for the planning report. We can come back to MBTA
Mhm.
later and Tommy can rant for a while. You already ranted, so he's done ranting now. We can.
Oh, is that what you do? You didn't get the meeting right?
That was a pre-grant.
It was-
Yes.
He made the mistake of asking me what I thought.
You didn't come to the meeting last night, so it's your own damn fault. Sorry.
You thought I was canceled.
That's right. Okay, so we have an A&R plan for Christian Hill Road.
Right.
You're the engineer surveyor here.
My name is Tim Callahan with Hawk Consulting. This lot is on opposite side of the 8 lots that are on Christian Hill Road now, the newest lot. And it's the closest lot to this Mill Road.
242 is this, pole end.
Pardon me?
The 242 is from here to here,
Yes,
obviously a straight line.
straight.
Yeah, it looked pretty straight to me.
Yeah,
The
driveway,
driveways.
space, yeah. Focus. The dedicated.
It's right here.
Zone, it's agriculture residential, isn't
Yep.
it? It's 80,000, what is the square footage on that?
107. Required is 80.
That's why you're a legend in this town. Fine with me.
Anyone see a problem with anything? What's it
Well,
look
the
like?
legend is because I've lived this long.
If you know exactly what the questions. were.
In there once or twice.
All right. Any concerns? Do I hear a motion? Do we have the form?
For me?
Do you have the form?
Is it in that paperwork? Oh, there you come.
Yeah, it's the only copy, or is it, everybody got a copy? Is it a copy?
That's the only copy.
That's your.
Sure.
Oh, no, I have a,
No, 'cause this is the original, and she put a copy.
okay, is that the original?
Grace, thank you. You put a copy of the Form A in everybody's packet.
Yep. If that's that must be the
The
original.
right there, so.
Okay.
Um,
All right,
go,
good to go?
applicant, the owner's name.
We have the check. Yes.
Yeah, the fee was paid, correct, Grace? She's on there.
All right, so I'm going to sign. Today is the
13.
13th.
We don't need another month.
So this was a two sign plus we have one more paper one. somewhere?
Yeah, we need another,
No, that's. Grace, was there another paper copy somewhere of the A and R?
I brought in,
can you make us another copy?
I brought 5.
You brought 5, so maybe in that binder clip you have there?
Oh, I some folded ones.
There should be copies in the folder.
Let's go back to this, but since we're meeting with
That's all.
that's
Yeah, there you
landlocked,
go.
isn't it?
Where?
No,
No, it's on the top.
Chairperson, I'll unfold it for you.
That's all you need to do. If you look at the top corner, it says remaining land wrong photo.
he owns all the way around it.
Okay.
Joe DeCarlo.
Okay, so there is other frontage.
Are they still around? That was still around?
Yeah.
I'm doing.
He retired.
They're doing well. What is the name?
Well, this is his lot, so I'm not sure how well he's going to convert it.
Oh,
I'm with Gina, his daughter, and this was always the plan. I think we sell these off
Yeah.
piece by piece, so. This is the first of a few we'll see over the next couple of years.
What's he's got a mulch, not a mulch business, a compost business up there too, right?
I think he shut that down.
Oh, yeah.
Used to direct people there.
Mm-hmm. But that's the first, so there's already, this isn't the one that has the house on. This
No.
is just that lot, that grassy lot right there.
Compost, yeah. Sure. Thanks.
I think we're all set. Good. You, and you take the Mylar.
So.
Sorry.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
I think we did lots of.
That was.
There's there's two schools of thought on which engineer to send it to. One school of thought is to send it to the other engineer so that you can have them check the first engineer report the end to it, or you send it to the guy casino,
Yeah.
whichever way you want to look at it.
I'll defer to you guys.
Here's the two sides.
Yep.
All right, scheduling the South Street preliminary subdivision. Morel. Morel, what's?
So this is, obviously, we have Sean and Rick are both on.
Okay, I didn't see you up there.
You've already reviewed you've already reviewed the preliminary, but we had the definitive obviously was filed, it was
Mhm.
filed complete. I'd gone through and made some preliminary comments based on the rules and regulations for the applicant. And so, they filed the definitive here. It was a complete filing, reviewed by both Grace and myself. So really the only thing before the board tonight is with your, as you do in your typical practices, you received the application, determine that it's complete and before you, and then you schedule.
Schedule the public hearing,
So-
yeah, and choose someone to send it out to review.
Yes, exactly.
So, what, our next meeting is September,
Tuesday, yeah.
It would be the 10th,
September.
correct, Teresa? So we're looking at the 10th and the 24th are both in September.
So is the 24th enough time for the town, being as it's summer? People aren't gonna be looking at it this month.
Mhm.
Should it go to the first, second meeting in October?
We mean September.
I mean, I can immediately get it out to DGT if
DGT,
you
yeah.
decide to go with them. And quite honestly, yeah, well, they might have comments by the 10th.
By the 10th, or do we want to go to the 24th, just to be on the safe side? Does that make sense to you guys? Are you all right with that?
Weeks is
Yeah.
usually better than.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I think,
Well, DGT in the 24th.
does that make sense to everybody? We'll send it to DGT for review and schedule a public hearing for the 24th.
So they're.
Yeah,
And-
Sean?
and if I may, I'd just ask if DGT does get back with comments, if we could get those as soon as possible. So maybe even on the 24th, we could have some response and some better interaction at that meeting.
That would be great.
If I may, that, one of the things that I don't want to do is go to the meeting having to answer questions from, that I don't know. I mean, if the neighbors ask a question, that, we should have the answer already, and you and I shouldn't be talking about the new stuff that came up. So it'd be nice if there was, a change, or if he came up with anything important. It's tough to talk about a moving target at the meeting, is what I'm saying.
Well, so,
So the earlier we can get things to you, and the earlier we can get back to you, the better it is for us to be prepared for the meeting.
Yeah.
So that we can
Agreed.
answer the questions.
Yep,
yeah,
absolutely.
I think that makes perfect sense to get the responses out to them as soon as possible. And then at the beginning of the meeting, they can give us their presentation and
Mhm.
we can go from there.
I usually try to make sure that both the board and, as I've been doing with zoning board
Right,
recently, zoning board and, the applicant are both getting the comments back sort of immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
great. And then, and obviously anything from police, fire.
Yeah. We'll send it out to them again.
So when the question comes up, we've already talked
Yep.
about it. I don't need help.
Okay,
So what date do we like?
24th.
the 24th,
24th.
September 24th. Do we have anything on the agenda yet?
No,
So we'll say 7:05.
Sure.
Or maybe 7:10.
7:10.
7:10,
Never knew why we scheduled stuff at 7:05.
yeah, because we know it's gonna take us 10 minutes.
The beginning of the meeting.
Okay. Anything else about South Street right now? All right, well, thank you for coming and we will see you on the 24th.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Great, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, the small cell wireless bylaw and the MBTA zoning overlay district bylaw, we need to schedule those hearings as well. 24th?
like,
Is that on the 24th?
they, sure, they can all go on the 24th. Do you want to give them the?
I have a big meeting on the 25th. So
Hmm.
I prefer not to have both of those on the.
Can we get these advertised in time to do it on the 10th?
Yeah, I believe so. Let me double check.
I think,
Grace is nodding yes.
yes,
We'll do
on the 10th.
Small scale one.
They aren't gonna get you a drink or anything.
I'm just gonna bring the scotch and a
We're-
glass.
We'll all go over to the, to Rushford afterwards. Just that.
Good night, strangers, yeah.
Oh, we're doing those, we're doing both of those, well, we get out at midnight.
I'll keep it in control, don't worry.
I mean, the bylaw is what you've already reviewed. Nothing's changed. So I know that doesn't necessarily preclude a conversation,
Conversation.
No,
but,
but I
yeah.
think we can ask for new information.
That's September 10th.
You wanna do
September 10th.
10th on
Yeah.
just that one or both of them?
Well, MBTA communities, don't we have some work with the chair?
You do.
I think we have work to do on that.
That's true.
Yeah, I think
Well-
we should, and I think that one we can do on the 20. I think if we do
I think we do one on the 20, it's just both of those.
the wireless one, it would be better to get it done.
I'll have had to have already sent in for the advertisement on like, the prior to the 9th for MBTA to be on for the 24th, which is not a problem at all. But I would suggest we obviously we'll put that on the agenda for the 10th to
Mhm.
do the work that needs to be done on it.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Stick to 7
And, you know, if last night is any indication, it's not like we're gonna draw a big crowd with that hearing.
Well,
We had
we
six.
could draw more because I hope to push it a little bit.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
I'll advertise it as well.
because people, I don't, just like Tommy said about people showing up here.
Yeah.
With all sorts, I don't want people coming to town meeting
I know.
and not, you know.
No, I
have
totally agree.
Opportunities to have input and to say they haven't had any input.
Yep, I agree.
I think it'd be better to have people at the public hearing.
We use the front thing on the board.
And it was on the
Mhm.
When it's-
town's website and Laura had pasted it on the.
Do we,
Upton Mom and
do we
Dad's
want to
page.
try to use the room in in the library for these public hearings? Because if more than 6 people show up here, this room is just too small.
I don't think we need it for the small, what's all wireless. I
No.
think that we need it. for
No,
the-
I think we know who's gonna show up for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we do need it for the other,
I just,
but the other one.
We can do that, yeah.
yeah, it just might make it.
I'll confirm that that room is available for them.
There's a smaller room over there too, that's still bigger than this. Or we could do it upstairs. Oh, no, upstairs doesn't have.
We've used the high school if we needed, high school's available.
Oh, it might not be available because it's gonna be September.
No, we used to meet there every week.
Really?
Yeah, that's where we had our meetings.
Why don't you see if the.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll,
The gathering room there is whatever it's.
Because even if we don't, I mean, it was nice to have the meeting there.
Yeah,
You know, since we had the circular tables, it was fine.
Yeah.
You know,
I'll email Matt now.
all right. So we have dates for those. That's it for our agenda items, other than discussing the draft items, the draft language for the MBTA zoning overlay district.
I assume nobody's really had an opportunity to look at that.
Right.
But if you have any comments, obviously.
I just, oh, sorry. You want to say something?
Yeah, well, before we moved on to that, you did send us something about one of the subdivisions that's, you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I just sent that out, just before
Today,
the meeting.
yeah.
So, that was just, because I had left that out of my planner's update, so I was gonna, update you on it at the next meeting.
Maple Hour Drive improvements.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I just wanted to, so everybody can take a look at it. That just summarized my discussion with Mr. Heaney and, the DPW
Oh,
director.
that's right.
So you can take a look at what we discussed, and then I'm gonna take those things, and so long as the planning board is in agreement with what was discussed, one of the things being going with, Cape Cod, berms rather than granite,
Mhm.
so we can stretch those dollars a little bit more.
And, my response to Mike was, we have equipment that can fix asphalt and anything that can fix on the granite.
Yeah.
So it might be good to do that because we could actually fix it if the plow hits it.
Mhm.
Because the granite breaks the plow
Mhm.
and.
And I will say, as a cyclist, I hate those granite berms. They're
Oh, yeah,
dangerous. They
sure.
are really dangerous. You can't get out of the road.
If you're a skateboarder, you like them.
Oh, yeah, because you can,
You wax them up and then you grind.
You sound like, you know.
so you think I need to take up skateboarding? Is that what you're saying?
That's your next thing. It's calling you.
I'm sure that's true. Okay,
So anyways, yeah, take a look at that and we'll probably discuss.
all right. Do we have any other topics not reasonably anticipated by the chair 48 hours in advance of this meeting?
I just wanted to go back real quickly to the MBTA communities. For the public hearing in the town meeting, do we have to determine a location or locations? or the,
Yes, I think I mean, ultimately it has to be in the package we
change.
give to,
right, that's what, so is it worth just sort of, because I think there were, 5 that were raised, and I think that there were 2 that there were general consensus on. So is that something we should discuss at the public hearing? I think the one, there were 2, that there was, I think the, Governor's Landing and the one on Money Street were the ones that, they were the other ones that were discussed, were the ones on the 25 acres off William Street
Yeah.
and Main Street, the one on George Hill Road, way in that
Mhm.
corner, and the one covering the downtown area.
I mean, we're not gonna ever get the one covering the downtown area through town meeting.
Yeah, we won't get the one on Main Street up towards William Street either.
No, I agree.
And the one on George Street, it's sort of, is a question, in my opinion, it's a question of if we want housing, or if we want to do if we just want
So Tom, the other parcel that came up last night as a possible location was the location of the East Street Estates. Because those folks, if we were to let them put high density in there, they would literally come out of their driveway and leave town.
people were concerned about the traffic going.
Mhm.
That's why people were a little bit hesitant about Governor's Landing, is because that traffic will cycle down Main Street through the center of town. The positive of that was that it will feed economic development perhaps in the downtown area. So people were sort of mixed on that. The other one that was talked about was the center of West Upton, like Pleasant Woods that has been discussed
Yeah.
before.
So my questions would be access roads and, the fact that Governor's Landing is already being built, there is already going to be construction there. This would replace that construction, setting up a brand new one. But East Street is close to,
Hopkinton and 495.
and for the purposes of what this intended, that would be a better place.
And it does keep the traffic off of 140,
Well, what are the, so you go from East Street to what road to?
Hopkinton Road. Hopkinton, you go to Hopkinton.
To
Go to
West,
Hopkinton.
Yeah.
Hopkinton from West Main Street.
And it's gotta be built before, it can't be built before I retire, because that's just gonna make it 10 times worse to do that commute in the morning.
Both seem logical. Because it's not necessarily Boston, it could be south of Boston, which you may go out.
You might go Milford, yeah, you might come out on 140 and head to Milford.
I mean, the one non-town official that attended last night's meeting, was,
Well, the Brookses were there, but they left before we brought this issue
that's
up.
true, and they're
Because
both,
they will.
one is on the affordable housing
Yeah.
trust, and the
Yeah.
other is on, so they're town officials.
Yeah.
too. But
No,
this,
but
but this
what
one,
I'm saying is they abut East Street.
Yeah, I
Estates.
know.
Yeah,
and the Dairy Creek there, yeah, they
Yeah.
left. But the, what was I gonna say? Oh, yeah, the guy actually takes the train out of Southborough.
Mhm.
So this would be a boon to him because it's sort of a direct shot up to where he takes the train from. And since there's an MBTA's community, it's like this makes it closer to the MBTA stations.
Yep,
You know,
it's definitely closer to that
It's
station.
the spirit, and it's easy to get to the Westboro station.
Yeah, can you just imagine the folks on those really huge houses straight across Hopkinton Road, the ones in Hopkinton? When we say we're gonna put it there and all these cars are gonna go straight past their house every morning to go up to the back way to Southborough.
And Governor's Landing is on a state highway.
Mhm.
And the fact that it's not gonna change the roads, doesn't change the grade of the roads.
No.
Doesn't care how many people, it's not gonna go another 1,500 cars out of that project.
Put out 123 units, I believe, possibly at 123 units.
But if you look at the grading of roads from minor to secondary to major, I don't think this would change even the East Street estates. It still would be, a regular minor street to get
Yeah.
to
Mhm.
Hopkinton Road.
So should we recommend focusing on those two? And then at the next meeting, we discuss which one we want
do you want to think about it?
Yeah, maybe give it,
Between now and then,
Yep.
settle on something.
who
Is there
owns
any
that
information
East
you want to
Street?
add there?
Who is, does that still belong to Amato or did they sell it to?
I think that
I don't know.
belongs to, the funds of.
Okay. That's right.
I would promote Governor's Landing. I think it's gonna piss less people off, because those people have already been pissed off. They
Yep.
already know it's gonna happen.
They already, yeah.
And, and it's, again, if it can add to the center of town and bring more business, in,
Mhm.
that's not gonna happen if you're up.
No, they're not
They're
gonna
not
come
coming
to
into
Upton
town.
at all. Right.
They're gonna head into Hartford then.
I actually do prefer
I actually think
the
I do
Governor's
too.
Landing too.
I think I do too.
And the last thing would be services. What's the easiest location for police, fire, and emergency service?
It's true.
I would have to imagine Governor's.
Yes.
I guess there would be a lot.
And at that density, they'll.
If you've got a fire, it's gonna be a lot easier to put that one.
Yeah, fire department's gonna say they want to access from 140, not from.
Does that make- does it-
Fire department.
And that might happen anyway. Want to get Hopkinton in there. They won't like it.
That's true, yeah.
Mhm.
But does that override sitting here in Hopkins that way? Go, don't come in.
I don't know.
We can make
I
a
don't
point.
There is one now, right down.
Well, I've been pushing forever that we need a bike path that goes right through the entire town.
I think it's a flight path. I'm like, why do we need a flight path?
But the key was it had to go right through. You keep going, don't stop.
Put walls up.
I don't know. You haven't talked to any of the people that own businesses along the bike paths.
Yeah, I like it.
They love it. Are you kidding me? All those little towns in upstate New York,
Oh, yeah,
all the little towns, it's amazing. I bike on bike paths all the time and the business that they bring is huge.
the only business would be a lemonade stand on the back of somebody's house. And the bike paths would go all around the
No,
subdivisions that
there's-
built them.
Ice cream, if you get a good one, you get the long distance ones, people stay along them. Like the trip I did last summer, we went from, 180 miles, you have to stay
You'd have to
someplace.
commandeer the Upton Railroad down.
Yeah,
Put in a rail trail.
that was,
Wasted money making you talk about how to bring people in. I said, there was a train coming that you can sit, a luxury train going back and forth where you come into like they have it's a beautiful little ride. I don't know why we don't get together with the railroad and make money.
definitely to be making money, but,
Well, they're selling, so they can do more.
are they selling it?
They tried to do it to the Roger Williams who out of Worcester.
Was it, or did he just need a bill? He owned both.
Huh?
Was he owns Edaville Railroad too?
No,
Yes.
What's,
Yeah.
okay, the guy that like a
Yeah,
bunch of years ago.
yeah.
They did the trip.
They sold that, but he was thinking of selling this one too. I heard this was it.
Yeah, I heard he was gonna sell it to Dana.
To
To Dana?
Dana. I mean, they really operate the railroad as it is.
Mhm.
They are the railroad as it is.
Right.
Got a company set up just for that.
Well,
And the rail cars, the tankers, the trucks.
I
the
think
storage that
The
that isn't, that's not storage, it's in transit. We all know it's all in
I
transit.
have a good
Pellet
story.
cars,
When
the
the,
pellet packaging
Mhm.
plant, all Dana.
when the meeting's over, I have a good story.
you think we're off, not recording anymore?
When it's,
No, we're not off yet.
I think, but I don't think we have we're done with our agenda, I believe.
Yeah.
So,
I'm over here.